9282. Toll free at 888-545-9282. Watch Jersey Central live online at WCTCAM.com or listen on your smartphone with the iHeartRadio or TuneIn apps. Connect with WCTC on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube by searching 1450 WCTC. And now back to Jersey's Morning Show, Jersey Central with Bert Barron.
8:37 back on Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. Back with you inside the Forge Jewelers Studios on this Thursday. Ken Schlager, editor of New Jersey Monthly Magazine, is here. It's our New Jersey Monthly segment where we go through the current issue, February, the big do-it-yourself issue, and we'll talk about some of the highlights there. Also, Ken, the recreation article written by you, very masterfully, I must say. You and I had the privilege of playing some of the first rounds at the brand-new Topgolf in Edison not long ago.
Yes, and you put me to shame.
Oh, I did win. Thank goodness the game does not reward, precision placement of the ball.
Right.
That's probably the only reason that I did win. But.
Right. But, we had a lot of fun that day, and we've got a little story about it.
Yeah.
Topgolf in this issue.
And golf in December issue. In Jersey, you can't go wrong, right?
Yeah, and so you're hitting in a heated bay, hitting out onto a driving range, and kind of behind you is a nice restaurant and bar, and it's a very kind of comfortable situation. It's more of a social situation than it's not a place where you would go to treat it like a driving range, go hit a bucket of balls and get ready for the season. No, This is about just having fun, hang out with friends. Yeah,
we enjoyed
and it really doesn't matter whether they can play golf or not.
Exactly, I'm the case in point there. Yeah, but that was a good time. All right, the do-it-yourself issue, Ken. Talk about Jersey DIY. What do we need to know about this?
Well, we had this idea of it's very much part of kind of the modern ethic to try to this DIY ethic of doing things yourself, creating things at home. There's kind of a sense of craft to it, a sense of self-sufficiency, and also a way to save money. So some of the things that we have here that are a little bit unexpected. For example, we tell you how to make your own dog treats at home.
That's become very popular,
which is kind of cool. Something that's become a drink that's become very popular that you and I probably never heard of, before maybe 6 or 12 months ago is kombucha. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but but you can ferment your own kombucha. It's a long, drawn out process, but you can get it done, and it's a very healthful drink. So that was an interesting one. And of course, you can make your own wine. You can draw your own flowers. You can build a bird feeder. It's kind of a nice thing to have this time of year. So these are the sort of things we talk about in there. A really interesting one, we had one woman talk about making her own cosmetics.
Wow.
Make your own face cream, make your own lip balm. And then we have some things in there that are we call them beat the system. So
I like that.
We tell you how to fight a speeding ticket.
Oh.
We tell you how to breeze through airport security, signing up with the TSA pre-check. We tell you how to fight your taxes.
Really?
Things like that. I'm
very intrigued.
We can't promise success. We can't promise success at any of this.
Whether the bill just at $8,000 a year for some of us.
Whether it's making wine or fighting taxes, we can't guarantee success at any of this. We tell you how to make candles. That one you could probably be assured of success.
Fairly successful, I would
hope.
Well,
one of the things that we talk about that kind of hit home with me was raising your own backyard chickens. And this is something that, a lot of people are doing around New Jersey.
Okay.
Where I live in Montclair, there's a lot of people doing it. There's a whole Google group about it.
In Montclair, they're raising chickens.
In Montclair, raising chickens.
Wow.
You have to, if you care to set about doing this yourself, you have to make sure that it's okay within your town.
Sure.
Zoning laws allowed. But my next door neighbor, the family, the McDonald family, they're actually the family that we featured in our little segment on backyard chickens.
Excellent.
So I know this well. They're lovely people, lovely couple, Kelly and Joe, and they've got 3 great daughters. And one of the daughters brought home some chicks one time and said, "Oh, can we keep them? Can we raise them?" And so they gave in to it. The parents gave in, and they've been raising chickens ever since. And occasionally we get some of the eggs. The eggs are delicious.
Wow.
They're really special.
That's great.
The yolks stand up, when you break them into a pan, and they really taste different. They're great. The funny thing is when they first got their chickens, they didn't know too much about this. They bought some chickens at auction. And what they didn't realize, I guess you can't tell when they're immature, but one of them was actually a rooster. One of the she's was a he.
Wow.
Yeah. So and roosters, I had never experienced this before. As they start to mature and they try to crow in the morning, they can't really do the cock-a-doodle-doo thing right off the bat. They sort of screech. And so 5 o'clock in the morning, we'd hear this screeching, which I can't even begin to try to reproduce. And I didn't know what was going on. Were they beating the kids or whatever?
Just screaming.
Screaming in the back. Yeah, right. So anyway, they realized that there was a problem there, and I think that that rooster got adopted somewhere else out in a more rural area.
It is the year of the roosters, so
but
right, it's
but they've been raising the chickens. It's great. It's a relatively easy thing for people to get into. You can actually get the chicks for they only cost about $5. You get them at at a hatchery. There's a hatchery. One of the ones we list is Schaefer Farms in Flemington.
Okay.
Around here. The big you have to they need a coop. They need something to protect them, particularly from predators, raccoons coming around at night, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they need a coop, and you can make one yourself. You can repurpose an old shed, or you can buy one online for starting about $500. They're not all that expensive to feed, and they give you eggs, which is great. My neighbors have 3 chickens. They say they get about 2 dozen eggs every week out of the chickens. They share them. Yeah, they share.
Wow.
Yeah, they share them with neighbors. It's a great thing, and also it's been a great lesson for their kids. To see how life works, and the eggs,
right.
and also just having the chores of taking care. There have been attacks on the chickens. Hawks have come and grabbed the chickens right out of the backyard.
Oh man!
And
wow.
I know some people string like wire over their yards if they have chickens to try to keep the hawks out. But the kids learn from that too. And it's just a different kind of pet.
It's quite a hobby. Yeah.
It's an interesting hobby, and and how many hobbies give you eggs?
Just one, raising
chickens. you can right. You can make model soldiers in your basement, or you can knit or quilt like my wife does, but you don't get eggs out of it.
This is true. Yeah, this is true.
So it's kind of nice, and like I said, there's great lessons in it for the kids, and apparently people become kind of attached to these chickens. Can't get too attached. Their lifespan is only like about 5 to 8 years.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah, and in a similar vein, if chickens maybe aren't your thing, maybe have your own honey and becoming a beekeeper in Jersey. That's also covered in the issue, right?
Yeah. Beekeeping is really growing in New Jersey. There's a Beekeepers Association, a state Beekeepers Association. So we know they gave us these numbers. In 2007, they had 400 members. By 2016, they had 1,200 members, and not everybody's a member, so they actually think there's about 5,000 people.
Wow.
Keeping bees in New Jersey.
That's growth.
A lot of this is driven by concern about the fate of bees. Honeybee colonies, we've all read about this, are in decline. There's a parasite called I'm not sure how to pronounce it, the varroa mite. Is a parasite that's been affecting the bees. It causes something called colony collapse disorder, where the worker bees abandon the queen. So it's great that people are kind of trying to help the bees by maintaining healthy hives. We need the bees. They're pollinators. They're essential for fruit and vegetable production. It costs about $500 to $700 to get started at this hobby.
Okay.
You need to get the hives and equipment and things like this. But once you get going and you get to know how to do it, apparently it's very satisfying. And again, keep chickens, you get eggs. Keep bees, you get honey.
Yeah.
And plus you're doing a real good thing. The association, the NJBA, asks that anybody who keeps bees register with them, and they'll actually send somebody around and make sure that you have a healthy hive and
interesting.
Not exacerbating the problem that exists out there.
Very cool. And of course, check with your local authorities before you decide to take up beekeeping and put a bee box in your backyard.
Always a good idea.
Right. We'll come back, spend some more time with Ken Schlager on our New Jersey Monthly as we check out the February issue, the big do-it-yourself issue. Much more coming up. Jersey